Welcome back to part 2 of our exhibition, A Brief History of Shocklands, where today we take a closer look at the Izzet and Dimir colors. Consisting of mages, scientists and engineers, the Izzet League is responsible for pivotal infrastructure like sewers, water supply and roads. These frenzied and crazed out mages do not seek control over Ravnica, but rather the League lives solely for the thrill of discovery. Driven by an insatiable thirst for knowledge, they build, experiment and destroy. For every road built, you can expect at least one blown-up Izzet laboratory. Under the leadership of their infinitely genius and equally infinitely narcissistic dragon, Niv-Mizzet, the League's guild symbol shows the dragon Parun himself. Steamvent's history in Ravnica reads as a journey through all the Izzet interact with. Starting with Rob Alexander's steam vents from 2006, we see sewers and canal systems built by the Izzet. As hot haze rises from the pipes and vents, a rusty turbine is seen rotating through a makeshift water site. The architecture of the stairs and walls do not hint at a planned canal hall, but rather seem like a former public space rebuilt and reused by the Izzet. Rusty metal pillars stand in a stark contrast to the stone staircase in the back, showing the Izzet's focus on function over style and form. Beauty is when it works. The next steam vents by Yeon Hao Han takes us from the more public canals of Ravnica to the back alleys of curious mages. As the Izzet symbol can be seen in the back, pipes full of water are gushing through a narrow passage, fueling the next explosive experiment. Where the first steam vents could possibly be anywhere in Ravnica, here we seem to be deep into Izzet territory. Even more than before, we can see the Izzet's habit of plastering the stone streets with their metalwork, in the name of progress, of course. The third steam vents complete the journey from Izzet sewer work deep below the city by taking us high into the clouds to Ral Zarek's laboratory. In this depiction by Jonas De Ro, Ravnica's famous architecture got a complete Izzet makeover. The stone tower being covered in metal plates and construction scaffolding spelling Izzet to all who can see it. Also the name giving steam has vanished. Here we only see what the steam is used for. The energy already got transformed into magical lightning, sapping over the streets of Ravnica. The flavor text emphasizes the relationship between the mad wizards of Izzet and the citizens of Ravnica, as we can read the thoughts of a simic mutationist. A massive new Izzet building project with an unstated purpose? Probably fine. No buildings but massive pinnacles await us in Zendikar. Noah Bradley's steam vents in Zendikar therefore had a tricky job of portraying a similar idea, only this time solely based within nature. Something that intuitively seems to go directly against the mechanical and industrial style that shaped the Izzet League. Bradley shows us that what the Izzet tried to channel and create has long been done by nature on a bigger scale. Where the League funnels steam through pipes in back alleys, on Zendikar hot fumes are gushing and cracking through the mountains, only hinting on the enormous amount of heat and energy slumbering beneath the crust. The curved mountains, alongside their floating broken off parts, create the feeling of a gigantic pipe, channeling energy just like the contraptions made by the Izzet. The latest installation by John Avon shows that the Izzet are not the only ones who are capable of building wonders. Despite being abandoned for millennia, the Thran ironworks still occasionally sputter to life. Here we see the reminders of the proud Thran Empire in Dominaria, long after they got devastated. We can witness the combination of the Izzet steam vents with the natural forces as they were depicted on Zendikar. Ginormous structures rise like mountains in the back, piercing through the crust. Contraptions and buildings capable of harvesting the power of the earth. Entire lakes and oceans served as cooling mechanisms, as we can see vortexes in the seas. The flavor text implies the Thran Empire built such magnificent machines and production sites that they will work regardless of their creator's demise. One can only imagine the wonders and horrors of war still being created deep beneath the earth, as moss already covers the mountain spikes of the Thran Empire. Creations and ideas, so perfect, so thought through, they outlive even their annihilation. Now let us swap red for black and take a look at the respective Shocklands. Watery Grave had a somewhat tricky task, portraying the realm of a guild that at this point did not officially exist within the world of Ravnica. For millennia, Ravnica knew only 9 guilds. The 10th guild, the House of Dimir, was nothing but a conspiracy theory. The guild of assassins, spies, and thieves is covered by so much secrecy that even their own agents often do not know that they are part of it. Back alley deals leading to corpses on the streets, and guilds blaming each other. That would be the realm of Dimir. The first Watery grave by Rob Alexander does not per se show the working place of the guild, like most other Shocklands, but rather where the work ends up. A water-filled, destroyed cavern can be seen. Millennia ago it maybe was a home, marketplace, or even a church, but now it is rotten and forgotten. The water is filled with skulls, bones, and fresh corpses. Washed down bodies, presumably people that vanished by the order of House Dimir, fill this makeshift graveyard. It omits this eerie feeling that behind the sounds of waterfalls, unimaginable terrors lurk, waiting to fill a tomb with their next target. The next Watery grave by Raymond Swanland confronts a new House Dimir. After past events, the guild got exposed. The citizens of Ravnica had to acknowledge that the horrors were real all along. It may seem that through that the house lost its power, but the dead body in the front proves otherwise. A clear message for everyone who thinks they understand how House Dimir works. The flavor text deepens this looming threat even more as Ralzara claims, "I fear that as we scurry after phantoms, the Dimir pull 9 puppet strings." Just because you are aware of the guild now, it does not mean that you are any safer. The third Watery grave in Ravnica by Cliffchild shows the resourcefulness of House Dimir when it comes to those who serve it. This time no rotting flesh can be seen, but rather the souls by those who are already drowned within the sewers. Ghosts are a common sight among the Dimir ranks, often forced to serve after being killed by them. The flavor text hints at which ghost it is that we see here. Few believe Duskmantle exists, fewer find it, none live to bear witness. Whispers echo through those watery graves as those who were unlucky enough to find the headquarters of House Dimir served them in protecting it even more. Now let us turn to other planes. Even though it is similar in composition to the hallowed fountain on Zendikar, this floating island tells a different story. A thin dagger of an island pierces through a looming cave. Hedrons chain to it, hovering away as if they try to escape this foul place. The dark waters below give only an upsetting feeling. Since this is, after all, a watery grave, the absence of any visible remainders, be it physical or spiritual, only give an inkling towards the question what it is that found a grave here. The Watery grave by Victor Adam Minguez takes us to the plane of Ixalan. Captain Lionry Storm tells us what force of nature took these drowned souls. Aye, ships go missing in the storm wreck sea all the time, that's why we don't call it calm safe current. This time no assassin did the deed. The stormy seas of Ixalan consume whole ships without mercy, leaving behind only rotting ship spines and floating, lifeless bodies. The picture, as all incarnations, gives no full account on what it is lurking in the shadows, or how many lives were already taken. What they all have in common is the eerie feeling of not knowing what could expect us beyond the picture frames. They make us aware of how much we do not know yet.